Hi everybody!
Hey there,
I'm Sheri,
I'm Q.
and today we're going to be discussing questions that nobody asked us about Yu-Gi-Oh! So I play a Dark Magician and a Fluffle deck.
I play Red Eyes, Madolche, and Rank 10 Trains.
So why do you play the decks you play?
So I really like Red Eyes because I was a fan of Joey. It's a much more versatile deck than Blue Eyes, and it's fun because you can kind of just spam out your Red Eyes and then go different angles with like Black Skull Archfiend Dragon or Red Eyes Meteor Dragon, or even if like the Red Eyes Rare Metal Dragon, Flare Metal Dragon. Rank 10 Train specifically is just, it's a very generic, like, it just shoot out as many level 10 monsters to get rank 10 Xyz monsters, and it just, you have a giant, like, 4K wall, can't be killed by card effects, and just pops all your opponent's cards. Madolches are just really fun, mostly because they're very cute, but also you can just, oh, yeah, like you were really liking that Totally Awesome you had? Oh, wait, back to your deck. Oh, back there. And so they're just fun because you can just kind of shoot everything back. So.
Yeah. I play Fluffles because they're like a really quick deck to do like OTK and then you're done. Because now like Yu-Gi-Oh games take a long time to finish. Mm-hmm. And I play Dark Magicians because pure nostalgia. You're so cute. So I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh like a long time ago when like they were still showing the first anime on TV and stuff, but then I got out of it because middle school, it wasn't cool anymore. And then I recently got back into it because the new movie with the original cast and it's just, oh my god. How about you?
So I've been playing since, started playing Yu-Gi Kaiba format, played up till Teledad with and GX early 5Ds era. Used to play Viacroids, which were awful, but they were still fun. I stopped playing for some time, and then I started replaying like Magic the Gathering.
Oh gosh.
And I found a lot of people were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh again, and I got back into it recently, around the middle of like the Arc 5 era, so I'm really enjoying it now.
I don't know.
So my favorite season of the anime is probably GX. I really love Jaden because he was the very kind of spunky kid who wasn't the overdramatic, if you lose this card game, you lose like the fate of the world. And it felt very relatable, and like he was a very upbeat kind of character, and I really enjoyed it.
I've only seen the first season of the anime, so original Yu-Gi! Woo! Woo! Ha!
Heart of the Cards can only take you so far.
Power of the Pharaoh can take you anywhere. My favorite would be Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician because original waifu and totally awesome.
So my favorite's probably Madolche Pudding Cess Chocolate a la Mode because it's the ultimate like Madolche monster, and it's very just like fun, and you can see it up close. It's a very I don't know, I just really love it.
So I already know I'm not watching the new anime because first season only.
I'm already trying to watch the new anime, but I'm really looking forward to Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains with Yusaku Fujiki, because it's card games on hoverboards in virtual space, virtual reality. But I don't know. It looks like it's going to be a lot of feelings from like GX with like it's set in a high school and they're all like high school students, but it also has that feeling kind of Zexal where it's very like computers like hacking. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing some very cool, very Tron-like scenes with all like the different like virtual forms that we see with Playmaker and like Blue Angel, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
I understood 20% of what you just said. Okay, so for the new format, I'm really excited for the new format because it means that Dark Magician cards now stand a better chance because the Dark Magician deck doesn't really rely on the extra deck that much, so it will have a better chance against the other decks.
I mean, I'm personally looking forward to Link's format mostly because I was a really big fan of Cyber Dark Impact and the columns mechanic that was introduced with Senate Switch. But as many people disliked it, I'm also a big fan of ritual archetypes in that I played Gishkis and Nekroz kind of at their peak. And now with Shinobirds being really big, I'm hoping we're going to see more main deck monsters instead of just kind of like the spam of like extra deck, extra deck, extra deck, extra deck. And so that we can kind of slow it down just a bit. But even then, we're seeing people finding some really nasty combos with like Firewall Dragon and the new Star Relic cards. So hopefully it works itself out. But
what do you know about the new cards? Because I know very little.
So Link format is kind of interesting, and so we're now, unlike in previous formats, you can't move your cards around as you will. They're kind of stuck wherever you summon them. But now we have, as most people know, pendulums are being moved to like the spell and trap card zone, and so I personally thought that should have been done from the beginning. I like that, and because it was kind of weird to have 2 extra zones at the end, especially when you're not playing with a mat, because that can kind of get weird and messy on the table. But so that seems like a no-brainer for me, and I also kind of like, it's not like you're getting an extra spell and trap card zone, so now pendulum players have to be smarter about that. What I don't like about how it's affecting pendulums is now you can only special summoning pendulum monsters from the extra deck you can only do it to linked zones, so that kind of defeats the purpose of pendulum monsters, and so that severely slows them down when I don't think it should be, in that they're still main deck monsters. But in regards to link summoning in general, it's kind of like it's kind of like synchro without the, more like, I guess, like XCs summoning without the tuners. And so just 3 monsters, you have a decode talker. But it's also really nice because it's kind of like that synchro aspect where it's like you have a Link 2 monster and a Link 1 monster. You can kind of just smash them together and create a Link 3 monster. So I think that kind of like building on top of each other mechanic is going to be really helpful in that it's going to end up kind of like Zodiacs, and so eventually they'll just keep spamming them, and eventually we're going to have like a Link 8 monster that just like special summon your entire extra deck to the field. And so, I mean, it's only the beginning of it. We're going to start to see things become really degenerate really soon, but hopefully for the now, it's going to slow it down a bit with limiting forcing you to pull Link monsters before you can start spamming from the extra deck.
I think everyone's gonna get like really confused for the first like maybe month when it comes out, and they're all gonna try to play like the older decks.
Yeah.
But then they're just gonna figure out ways to play their decks, and it's all gonna go back to being.
Yeah. It's gonna be like, kind of what you said. Like it's gonna be heroes, but with a random decode talker thrown in.
True. And it makes me sad because like they keep changing the mats.
Yeah.
So then you can't use the old mats now.
Yeah,
it
that's
makes no
the one
sense.
thing I'm kind of. It doesn't look very pretty, mat-wise, but I get the mechanics.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
For me, definitely is Dark Magician Girl, because even though she has the Magician Girls and she has like some new support that came along with the Dark Magician support, I still think she's not really that playable and like against a lot of the meta decks. And I think like there's a lot they could do so that she can be played without Dark Magician.
So I was personally thinking of Red Eyes, and so I feel like Red Eyes a lot has been kind of ignored between like the Yugi Kaiba, like the Blue Eyes and Dark Magician, and I feel like a lot of it is kind of unplayable in that they're still trying to throw Gemini monsters into it when Gemini monsters really do not flow with it. And even though the newly revealed cards like Red Eyes Baby Dragon and Red Eyes Slash Dragon, they're pretty good, but it's a very different format to how like it's now about spamming equip cards rather than like. And so I just hope they would consolidate kind of what they want to do with the archetype. Like I always thought maybe if they could have different, because maybe like Red Eyes Metal Dragon where you have like a fusion and a Red Eyes Black Dragon with a machine type monster, kind of like similar to how Slash Dragon works with a Red Eyes Black Dragon plus a warrior type, and have a Black Skull Dragon retrain where it's like Red Eyes Black Dragon plus a fiend type monster, and so on and so forth. And so it kind of pushing, like they said in like the first season, while Blue Eyes represents power, Red Eyes is supposed to represent potential. And so having this show the potential of what you can do with the archetype.
True. I would think Red Eyes would be nice for like a lot of the fusions because it doesn't have a lot of like Xyz or synchro support.
Yeah. Also, rank 7s are just kind of harder to make in general.
Well, Dark Magician's kind of rank 7 as well, but it has like the thing where you can just bring out more Dark Magicians, so that makes it easier. Yeah. Poor Red Eyes. Poor Joey.
Yeah, see?
Brooklyn Rage.
So looking at kind of ideas for like different future archetypes, I've always been kind of a fan of the Gemini archetype, the Gemini mechanic. It's a very kind of weird one. It's always been very slow in that it takes up like 2 of your normal 7s, so you're essentially throwing a normal monster onto the field and having to wait a turn to like actually get its effects. And while they have the effects of Gemini monsters are often fairly good, kind of working of like trying to speed that up. So kind of like how we saw ABCs making Union monsters good again, and how we saw Gishkis and Necros making Ritual monsters good again, and how we saw Shinobirds trying to make Spirits good again. But so with Geminis, I was hoping maybe something. I know we talked about Dark Magician Girl, but I wanted like an actual Maruka Magica, like Sailor Moon Magical Girl archetype, where they can transform and take on, like, gain superpowers, and so I thought that would work really well with Gemini monsters. So I was thinking maybe something like shoujos, and so there's one for each attribute, and so they each, kind of like how Six Samurai works, is they get special effects based on how many different shoujo monsters you control. So like, you have like Shoujo Haruko, which is the Earth one, and so after you Gemini summon her, you can special summon one shoujo monster from your hand, and so you take Shoujo Haruko out, you special summon another one, you can Gemini summon the other one because you haven't used your normal summon, or you can just put it into a rank 4, and so it's just kind of spamming out rank 4s, and so the boss monster would probably just be slap on multiple shoujo monsters into a rank 4 that can just kind of blow all your opponent's stuff apart. So I think that'd be kind of useful as a potential Gemini archetype. What are you thinking?
I kind of was thinking, you know how Cosmos is like Star Wars and Oz, right?
Yeah, that's always a really weird mix-up.
Yeah, I was thinking we could do Peter Pan and Wendy, and then we mix it with
Alice in Wonderland?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really cool idea.
Yes, could we have like, and then we just like Wendy and Neverland, but instead it'd be like Wonderland.
Or Wonder World.
Wonder World.
Neverworld.
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 Neverworld. But, hey, never. So basically, instead of like, how, you know how there's so many decks trying to send all their monsters to the graveyard? But this would be like, you can't send monsters to the graveyard because Neverland, you never grow up. So then it would stop like a lot of like other decks.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
It would stop the frogs. Stop the frogs.
Stop the frog. Ban the frogs.
Stop the frogs. Never.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. It's kind of like an opposite to kind of how Cosmos are all about banishing all your monsters. This can be like, you can like return stuff. Return to Neverworld. You return stuff, and so you can have like a mix of like a Captain Hook and like the Red Queen, and have like Neverworld Pirate Queen, or like something like Peter Pan and the Mad Hatter. And so,
and we have to like throw Cheshire in there somehow.
Yeah, the Cheshire Crocodile, Cheshire Smilodile.
Yo, let's call Konami.
Hello.
Moshi mosh. Okay. I'm actually surprised they haven't made it like a magical girl thing yet. Either.
Yeah.
Like
I was hoping. I was thinking that it'd be a really cool idea and actually give some potential use for Gemini monsters.
Yeah. I mean, they tried they have like a lot of like girly cards, and then they release a lot with the new like magician girls.
Yeah.
But I think like combining Gemini and then like kind of magical girls is really interesting.
You could definitely have like a quick play transformation spell that's like transform, get out your effects. I don't know. I think that'd be a really cool idea. I really like the idea of Neverworld. Do you think there would be extra deck monsters?
I don't know. If, like, we'd have the caterpillar, and then we'd turn the caterpillar into something else.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's all like, because they're all like both like very kind of creepy, so the art would also be like kind of creepy and all that. And
I think that'd be a really cool idea.
I think magical girls would be cool. Konami, call us. Call us. We'll help. Well, that was the last question.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, Nobody, for asking the questions.
Like and subscribe.
Bye-bye.